All right, we'll call the meeting to order. Commissioner Gaines will lead the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
Enable audio.
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. First item on the agenda is to approve our agenda.
Second.
The motion, the second. The only change, we will be moving our HR report to after executive session. Otherwise, everything remains the same. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. This time we'll open the meeting up for any public comment. Anyone wish to address the commission this morning on any issue that isn't on the agenda? Online, on the phone? Seeing none, we'll move on. Mike Scott, landfill manager, with a couple items. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, everyone. Just to start out with, on March 27th, we had a solid waste grant hearing, and Brown County Landfill was awarded 2 grants. One was for Cell 5 construction, which will most likely take place next year, and that was for about 18.2% of that amount, which amounted to about $675,000. And the other was for the landfill compactor, was around $213,000, and that was a 20% grant. So, very pleased with that grant outcome. And all the grant funds have been used up for this year, so they're good outcome on the grant side.
Good.
Especially going into it not really expecting that we might not get anything, and to turn around and get, $800,000+, so it was a good deal.
Those are fees collected from landfills and then
There are fees, $1 per
redistributed
ton,
obligation.
and those fees are
Yep.
put into that grant application process. So yeah, we have gotten back our $1 per ton plus, so.
Good deal.
Item number 2, landfill compactor. I guess, like I said, we've gotten about a $200,000 grant. Obviously, I've been at the landfill now for almost 33 years. We've had 3 Bomags and I think a Cat, but the Bomag compactor is just built better for landfill operation, and plus they're a little bit cheaper. They've got a new design this year, new engine. The Cat price, based off of Sourcewell, was right at that $1,030,000. TransSource was right at $883,450. So about $146,000 less than Cat. I guess my recommendation is to go with that TransSource quote or bid with that Bomag 773 RB-5. And that's $883,450. Our net on that with the grant would be a little over $706,000. The last compactor we purchased was in 2019, and that was for about $679,000. So definitely, it's one of our primary pieces of equipment that we use. I don't know if anyone's got any questions. I've got the salesman from TransSources here, Jared, sitting in the back.
This was an anticipated purchase.
This was an
considering
anticipated, a budgeted purchase. We had about $1 million in the budget for this.
And that grant is extremely helpful. I mean, when you're talking about, a couple $100,000.
Absolutely.
That's a big deal.
You said they're completely redesigned, or the new
Yep,
design?
as you can see on
New
the
engine?
model, the engine will be a Cummins X15, correct, Jared?
Motion to approve.
Okay.
Second.
We have a motion by Weiss, second by Dennert, to approve the purchase of the Bomag. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
All right, thank you. We do have a contract. Jared's got it in his wallet there. Sarah, do you want that now, or so Dwayne can sign that, or do we need a motion to sign, or?
You can just bring it up.
Okay.
Get it signed and get it on its way. Okay.
Well, he's doing that just for informational purposes. it's been a while since we talked about, because years ago was a conversation about how we did cover and so forth, what do we do, you know?
Correct, right?
You did just bring us up to date if you don't mind.
Our cover material right now, years ago, back in the 90s, when I first started, we had an alternative daily cover that we were using on the waste. It was a spray-on material, and we've kind of gone away from that. We're trying to use soil cover now. It does take a little more of our airspace away, but from what I've found over the last 30 years I've been there, from fire to blowing litter, it's just a better way to go as far as daily cover. So that's our go-to right now. We've got about probably 1.6 million yards of extra soil on hand. The highway department utilized a lot of that this last winter for shoulder work and other things, but we do have an excess of borrowed material. So
Okay.
plus we'll have more
Yeah.
once we move another 500,000 yards next year, and that's going to be an issue for us too, is where to put it.
Yeah.
So
Okay, well, thank you, I was just curious, because it's been a while since we...
soil
talked about
cover
that.
is our go-to.
Okay.
And I've had it happen when we were using a spray-on cover. We'd have a wind come up, and it would just peel that right open.
Sure.
We have enough trouble keeping litter under
Mhm.
control. We don't need any other... Same way with fire. I mean, it's not a...
Yeah.
You know, it's fire retardant, but it's not going to protect against a... And right now, we've got a lot of issues with, you know, say a battery or anything else starting to just a spontaneous fire.
Lithium.
We had one the other day, we were cleaning up our waste pile up by the scale house. He had all the trash in the container. Pretty soon it just lit up the whole container on fire.
Mhm.
So, I mean, you never know when it's going to happen, how it's going to happen, so soil cover is the
Okay.
way to go.
Well, thanks, I was curious about that, so thanks for that update.
Yep.
We can all be thankful for the moisture, so a fire,
Yeah.
no matter where it is, you'll have dangerous.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That helps.
So, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Mike. All right, next up, approve and authorize chairman to sign change order for the tuck pointing project. Document was in the packet, it increased by about $1,700 or so.
Move.
Motion by Weiss, second by Gage. Any further discussion or questions? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Next up, approve and authorize Allison Thunheim, HR Director, to sign the health equity contracts.
Move.
Second motion by Dennert, second by Dinger. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Next up, consent calendar. Sarah.
Approval of the general meeting minutes of April 1st, 2025.
Move. Second.
Motion by Dinger, second by Weiss. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Claims and payroll.
Move.
Second.
Motion by Gage, second by Weiss. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
HR report.
We're gonna move that.
We're gonna move that,
Yeah.
okay. Travel request.
Move.
Second. Motion by Dennert, second by Dinger. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Landfill tonnage report for March 2025.
Move.
Second.
Motion by Gage, second by Weiss. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Claim assignment.
Move.
Motion by Dinger, second by Gage. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Lease agreement.
Move.
Motion by Weiss,
Second.
second by Gage. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Auditor's report of account for February.
Second. Motion by Weiss, second by Dennert. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
The local emergency management performance grant, second quarter report.
Move.
Second. Motion by Weiss, second by Dinger. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Any other business to come before the Brown County Commission this morning? We've had a request to go into executive session for personnel, and I saw Ross here, maybe legal update? Legal update?
Yeah, we
Okay.
Move.
Okay, motion by Weiss. Second. Second by Dinger. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We are in exec. All right, we're back in session out of exec with no action as a result. The only thing we have to do, one thing we have to do is approve the HR report.
Move.
Motion by Weiss,
Second.
second by Gage. Any further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Is there anything else to come before the Brown County Commission this morning? We have equalization starting at 11 o'clock, and then consolidated equalization at 1. And I think Commissioner Dinger, Gage, and I are the three that are gonna sit in, unless that's changed. If there's nothing else, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move. Second.
Motion by Dennard, second by Weiss. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We are adjourned.